Hey everybody, I hope all is well. Welcome to another video. We're gonna get right into it because this video is kind of crazy and it's pretty much action all throughout. So the clip you just saw was me basically just spotting a two-man squad in a military location. I took out one from like 340 meters away. The second guy, he got away because of a server reset, so it is what it is. But definitely watch to the end because I'm gonna throw some Discord screenshots in there and things get a little out of hand, so hopefully y'all are as entertained as we were. This server, it is a community server, which means it does have some rules set by admins, and we all agreed to those rules when we started playing on this server. So that's kind of what's gonna come to play later, is like people thinking that we were breaking rules and vice versa or whatever. So definitely stay tuned for that. But this server, like I said, it is nice because it's community, but it's not as hardcore with the rules as some are. Like, it's pretty lenient. You can still raid offline and stuff like that, so it's not that bad. But anyways, I'm gonna stop rambling. We're gonna pick it up with me and Apollo heading towards Nabor, chasing some shots, and I'm not even gonna say anything else. Stay tuned. I figured this would be as good a time as any to introduce to y'all a member of our group named Nori. If you didn't see him, he's a guy wearing the brightest colors you can possibly find in the game. And he usually totes the most non-lethal weapons you can find in the game as well, but he never dies. Like, the dude, I don't know what it is, but he can be in the middle of a gunfight. Everybody wearing ghillies and stuff's getting dropped, but this guy just never dies. But anyways, let's try and get this car off the top of this tower here, and yeah, you'll see what happens. It's kind of funny. Don't let the outfit fool you though, because he does pull the girls. And then you have Ranger, who's been in my previous videos and never ceases to entertain. So we're now all on our way to Nabor to go drop off some guns to the guy that I had shot in the head earlier in that car. Actually, it's this car. It's kind of messed up. But anyways, I felt bad about it, and I figured I'd give him some guns so that way he can, get back on his feet or whatever, because he was actually the guy whose base y'all saw in the previous video where I killed that guy that had the LAR with the pink armband. That was apparently his base that had just gotten raided, so he was just now leaving with what he had left, and I guess I had ruined his day some more. So I felt kind of bad about it, and I told him I'd give him some stuff. So we're going to pick it up with us arriving at the cemetery. Now, we did not tell him where we were going to meet at because we didn't want an ambush or a trap set up for us. So the plan was to unload the guns, find a location, put the guns there, then message him and let him know where we were going to be at and go from there. But Instead, we dropped the guns off, and then we ended up spotting somebody in the distance who was watching us. So you'll see how it plays out. But yeah, things kind of got interesting. So at this point, we all had this guy in our sights, but we did not want to shoot. One, because he didn't have a gun out, and two, we weren't sure, obviously, if it was a guy supposed to come meet for the gear, and just coincidentally showed up. So we're basically just kind of waiting to see what his moves are going to be, and then we're going to try to approach him to communicate with him and see exactly who he is. wish I knew the number of times people have been saved by either a server reset or a server crash. It's happened twice in this video, that's for sure. But I don't really blame this dude for not logging back in, because he would have definitely died. But it was kind of a karma situation anyway, since I killed that one dude in the car. But after that encounter, Apollo and I managed to get the car out safely and back to base. And I then met up with Tommy and Russian, who's two other members of our faction. And we went back to Nabor to do some looting for some base supplies. And on our way out of there, I got a little bit ahead of them, and they managed to get swarmed by zombies. And while they were dealing with the zombies, silently dealing with the zombies, they got ambushed by some guys who had ARs and whatnot. So I pushed back, and we're going to pick it up with me arriving in the area where I thought the guys could be. My guys said they saw two, so that's what I was looking for, and I managed to spot a house with a bunch of zombies gathered outside. I'll leave the suspense out of this one. The guy I killed had actually killed his teammate when he was trying to kill my guys, so that's why there's 4 bodies. I just got done dropping off a couple of tents at a neighbor of ours base, and I'm on my way back to our base now. But little side note, our neighbor here did not know that I was going to be dropping off the tents at that time. So he told me he was away, and I was driving back to base, like I said, and I ended up spotting a player. But I didn't know if it was him or not, so I just kept driving just to be on the safe side, and yeah, you'll see what happens. I know he was kind of hard to see, but the guy that was shooting at me had on a red armband, and the group that held the red armbands at this time was called Fay. That's F-A-Y. I'm not sure what that means, so don't ask. They probably forgot to put the G instead of the F, but I don't know. But I had a guy that knew where their base was, so we're on our way over there right now to jack him up. Alright guys, I apologize about the voiceovers, but I'm about to do a quick explanation of what basically just happened. We were about to start the raid, and I spotted a guy outside, dropped him. They had another guy spawn in, and he started shooting at my guys, and so they killed him basically, and now we're getting ready to start hitting the base. Their base was wide open after I killed that one guy, so it was pretty much free entry except for their main loot, which we're going to have to blow up here in a sec. But I'm going to let this thing just play out how it happened, and I'm going to try to do as minimal editing as possible just so that everybody can see how it really went down. Alright, so I am going to cut out some of this looting because unless y'all want to watch me scroll through my inventory for the next 5 minutes, there's not much else to see. But here in a bit, one of the Fey guys is going to log in on us, and one of our guys is going to spot him before he gets a chance to kill any of us, luckily. And unfortunately, I did not record it myself, so we're going to cut to Ranger's point of view and see what happens. So that was the last eventful thing that happened back there, other than Ranger blowing himself up trying to get into the last tower that had the remaining loot. I wish I recorded that, but unfortunately I didn't. But we're going to pick this up with us getting into the northern side of Brenna. Things kind of got crazy here, aside from my kids messing with my controller. But stay tuned because I'm going to throw in some bonus material at the end that resulted from that raid, and things kind of got crazy. So because that guy started shooting at our little convoy, our front car actually crashed into a barrier and ruined the radiator. We tried to get everything transferred over from that car to the other two cars so we can get the heck up out of there with the loot we had on us. But as most plans go, this one was kind of sketch, and we had some guys heading in our direction that our front guy spotted, and apparently they had on blue armbands, which, as we know, is the bandits on this server. So we're trying to hurry up and get our cars turned around before we end up getting in some crazy encounter and losing all the loot we just got. Um, this town is supposed to be a no KOS zone, despite the other guy shooting at us, but because it's already been shots fired, we weren't really sure how it was going to play out. So we hurried up, turned around, try to get out of there. Now keep in mind which car got wrecked, because that yellow Sarka is going to come to play in a future encounter. So obviously we got away with the loot just fine. We even got it back to base, locked it up, cars and all. However, before we entered Nadbor, because we had to go through Nadbor to get to where we were going, Apollo, who was back at base, who's our faction leader, he actually heard some shots. So he went to go investigate, spotted some players. Because of him spotting players, I decided to let out the passengers that are inside of our car to go help him out with making sure we had safe passage. Well, I kind of let them out a little bit too early because they were never really in Nadbor. The guys that were actually fighting us were outside of Nadbor. So I let them out. We ended up driving right past all the action just fine, but Apollo and then one of our guys ends up getting killed. So now it's just me, Ranger, and one other guy. We're going to pick it up with us trying to go avenge those two that died, and yeah, you'll see what happens. The reason why I'm running through this field right now is because I'm going for a wide flank on some guys that we saw pull up and third party us while we were in another engagement. They pulled up in our car, ironically, and it's the same exact guys that we saw in Brenna wearing the blue armbands. After taking those two bad shots at that bandit, trying to get him to not kill my other guy, I obviously fell back to reload, and I was trying to get a different angle behind the cemetery, but just as I was about to start looking for him, I was told that he was heading straight for me. Now, I had no idea how close he actually was, so I was trying to create some more distance, and there wasn't much cover for me to go to, so yeah, you'll see how it plays out. So yeah, as you can see, it didn't work out for me. But this guy was a good shot. I'm not going to take that from him. Every time I tried to aim at him, before my image would even fully register, he was basically already sending a bullet my way. So he hit me both times and I just dropped. So it was kind of dumb for me to try to engage him the second time. But luckily, as usual, Ranger managed to get some revenge for me. And here's a clip from his perspective of him getting the last bandit. And here's where things start to get a little interesting. So like I said before, I was going to include some bonus material of basically what resulted from that raid we did on the Fae Boys. Things got crazy. While we were raiding them, apparently they were on Discord griping and moaning to the admins and everybody else that they were being hit illegally and we were killing them north of the river, which is illegal on this server, and yada yada yada. You name it, they were saying it. And in theory, they would have been right, but because we were raiding them, there is no KOS rule whenever you're raiding somebody. It's kind of retarded. But I guess they thought that they were safe up north, not only up north, but at the edge of the map up north, because they were that scary. They wanted to hide their faction's main base up north, so they couldn't be KOS and couldn't be bothered, but they could still raid and KOS other people, which they were known for doing. And yeah, it made no sense. But regardless, they took their complaints to the Discord in the general chat, and people weren't having it. Instead of them just talking to the admins and filing a report the way everybody else is supposed to do it, they just started calling people out of their names and telling us that, you know, we're trash and whatever. I really don't even remember, but I'm going to attach the screenshots that I had taken because it is pretty funny looking back. But I'm not going to lie, we were pretty upset at the time because it was just like, the dude blocked me. He's going to call me out on something, and when I try to respond to him, he's going to block me. Like, if that doesn't show you how childish they were, nothing will. It's a dang shame, but people like this are in the game. Like, they're the same kind of people who use alt accounts and dupe on public servers. Like, they come here as if they've never been on a public server before and complain about being KOS because they're trying to make a fire outside their base. Like, that made sense. And to be honest, I'm being a little nice right now because the way I was going to edit this video was going to make it about an hour long, but I was going to literally take everything they said in these screenshots and put clips, video evidence of us basically making them look like retards. But enjoy the screenshots. I'll catch y'all next time. I hope y'all enjoyed the video. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I will see y'all next week.